Is Greenville overrated? When I first moved here, I sure thought it was. Then I found out what makes this place so special, and that's my experience. So today, I'm gonna give you an inside, unbiased perspective on is Greenville overrated? Some answers, they might shock you, so make sure you stick around for the last one because it's truly what makes this place so special. Hey everyone, I'm Reed Gray, local realtor here in Greenville, South Carolina. And just like you might be thinking about doing, I moved here from out of state. That guy, you might already know him, that's Harrison Williamson. He's a local lender who I've partnered with to help many of my clients in moving to Greenville, South Carolina. Like me, Harrison also relocated to Greenville. And that's kind of what today's video is about. We're seeing so much of it. We're the #4 most moved to market in the country. So it begs the question, is Greenville overrated? So Greenville, South Carolina, it shows up on just about every best places to live list. From travel magazines to national rankings, it seems to be what everybody is talking about. But is it really as amazing as headlines make it sound? Honestly, the lists we make now are somewhat funny because at this point it's like, yeah, we get it, Greenville rocks. So what? So Greenville's downtown has been completely revitalized. It's walkable, packed with restaurants, Falls Park, and the Swamp Rabbit Trail. And honestly, they're all as awesome as we make it seem. While it might seem a little touristy, all these things are part of what makes living here so great. Is it something you're gonna do every single day? Probably not, but every time you're going, you're gonna be grateful that you live in such an incredible place. Now the location is tough to beat. So you're 2 hours from the mountains, 3.5 from the beach, and you're close to major cities like Charlotte and Atlanta. And I kid you not, I've been to all of these destinations this year. I've been to the Charlotte airport, I've been to a Braves game, I've been to the mountains in Brevard, and the beach, I'm headed there this weekend. They're all super convenient, so that is a big perk of living here in Greenville, South Carolina. Now the cost of living is lower than the national average here, especially compared to feeder states like California, Florida, or New York, where a lot of you guys may be watching from. I've never lived in New York or California, but the data and my experience in working with folks from these markets paints this picture very clearly. In Greenville, it still has that small city feel with offering bigger city amenities. And that's why Greenville ends up on every single best place to live list every single year. But with that popularity comes some real challenges. And let's start with growth and traffic. Now Greenville, it's booming, which means more cars on the road, longer commutes to certain areas, and ongoing construction. You honestly can't drive around town without seeing commercial or residential construction. If I go to Unity Park, it typically takes me about 5 minutes to get there. The other day I went to skateboard, yeah, that's right, your realtor does cool things, and it took me about 25 minutes to get there. It was insane. The amount of cars on the road made me feel like I was in Atlanta. So the secret's out on this place, and the growth is undeniable. But I sure hope that our little city doesn't change too much. Now, housing prices. While still affordable compared to bigger markets, home prices here have risen sharply over the last few years. Many buyers are surprised when they see what their budget actually buys here. For things like that, talk to myself and Harrison Williamson. Now, pair this with interest rates and affordability, that can be a big challenge. Now, if you're selling a house in a state where real estate prices far outpace ours, then it is possible that you would still find our market quite affordable. But prices have been a pressure point for many buyers, and your dollar certainly does not go as far as it used to. And that's something they don't put in the headlines. Now, certainly we've seen this impact our market here. And I've said this in a video before, but relocating buyers often think that our market is affordable and easy. But in many cases, it can be just as competitive and pricey as the place that you're leaving. So the job market, let's check this one out. We're gonna keep it short and sweet, but Greenville has a solid economy. And if you're in certain industries, opportunities can be more limited compared to larger metropolitan areas. Now the weather is probably something that has captured your attention about living here in Greenville. Yes, we have 4 seasons, but as somebody who spent many years in Florida, our summers are no joke. I'm gonna start a petition to wear shorts to work because in the summer, you kinda need it. But while Greenville is fantastic in so many ways, it's not perfect. Here's my take. Greenville, it's not overrated, but it is important to look beyond the headlines. And the lifestyle here is incredible for a lot of people, but it's not right for everyone. I actually had a family move here say, oh, we thought it was great, and it really didn't kind of fit what we were looking for. And I don't want that to be your case. Do your research ahead of time, figure out if Greenville is a place that you want to be. I encourage people to take what I call a discovery visit, where you come spend a little bit of time, we meet, see some houses, and figure out if this is the best place for you. Now, if it's not your fit, that's totally fine. But Greenville, if you love a slower pace, access to nature, and a thriving community, it checks a lot of boxes. But if you're expecting a big city feel, or you're not quite ready for the growing pains, you may find yourself disappointed. But I told you I'd share the best part of living in Greenville at the end of this video, and it's hands down the people. I love our community, those who are here and those who will join us. But the people are what makes this place so special. Because at the end of the day, the falls and Falls Park, they're always going to be there. Liberty Bridge, the Swamp Rabbit Trail, they're both great. But the community that we live in, that's where we thrive. So, is Greenville overrated? I'm going to say no, but it certainly has its own trade-offs. And if you're considering a move here, it's important to get the full picture of what life is really like living in Greenville, South Carolina. And that's what I help people with every single day. So if you're planning a relocation, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And make sure to subscribe for more insights about living in and around Greenville, South Carolina. I look forward to assisting you with your move to our area, or just answering your questions. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.